Hi friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for day 8 of our 13 Days of Halloween series here at Polly's Paper Studio. If you're just joining in, you can find links to the first 7 days in the top of the description so you can get caught up. For today's project, we're going to be making a spooky Memorydex card using all of the fun Tim Holtz Ideology Halloween products. So stick with me and we'll make this together. So I've gathered all my Tim Holtz Halloween supplies. I'm going to be working with the worn wallpaper as my pattern paper. I've got my paper dolls, the small and the large ephemera pack, and the chip quotes or quote chips. I'm never really sure which one goes first. So these are all the Ideology Halloween supplies that I have to work with. And then I'm also going to be using my Heidi Swapp Memorydex punch to punch the holes for the bottom. I'm starting with just plain black cardstock, and you see I've already punched that so that I can include it in my box. I'm going to use this beautiful worn wallpaper pattern on the back. I've just cut it so that it has a nice border and it will not cover any of the holes so that it will slide perfectly well in the box. For the front side, I'm going to use an alternate pattern. This will be the background. Now I can start layering on those vintage images. So I have a lot of layers to add, but not a lot of space. So I'm really going to have to work to stack these up. So a portion of these images is going to have to be raised, and then a portion will have to be flat. So I've put my spacers on one side and just double-sided adhesive tape on the other so that each layer will have a flat base to adhere to. So I've got a couple of the images from the ephemera pack, and I'm just going to tuck these in at an angle, and they each have the spacer on the side and the tape on the bottom so that I can begin to fill in a little bit of the side portion. All right, I'm going to build a frame here. This just has a nice scalloped edge. I was able to use the die itself to create the oval portion that fit perfectly just by using the inside of the die as a template and tracing it out and then cutting it. I did have a flat edge because I was using the offcuts from the back, but I could cover that very easily with the paper doll image, so that will be fine. I'm just going to add this to the oval, and you can see that it fits perfectly. Next up is going to be the paper dolls, and these two twins look frightfully delightful, and I'm going to add them here, just overlapping that so that it will hide that cut edge. I have a metal charm here, a large spider web with a spider. I'm going to add this to the top. Then I'll cover the cut edge of that string with this vintage button of a nice generous length of netting here. This is very spider webby looking, and I picked this up from Really Reasonable Ribbon. This is going to go right across the bottom here. There isn't a lot of room on the back to tack it down, so I'm going to rely on the next layers to hold that in place. I pulled a couple of tickets from the ephemera pack. I'm going to stack those again with a combination of spacer and flat. I'm going to go ahead and use the hot glue for that so I can get down through the netting. That will be right here. I have a couple of glitter stars die cut as well. I'm going to use hot glue again. For this one, I want to hold it in place so that I get it positioned well, because I want it to act as a nice finishing detail for my flower arrangement. Here are the flowers that I put together, same as I've been working with all week, except I did not add stamens because I want to add my Halloween quote on top, and there just wasn't any room. So I'm going to add these flowers with the loopy twine bows in black die cut leaves. That is right on the bottom corner. I pressed that in very well to make sure I got through all of that netting. And last but not least is the sentiment. I think this is so funny. It is perfectly sized. I went through the whole bin and found the one that I thought was going to fit the size and the sentiment well. I put foam spacers only on each outside portion because it's going to have to bridge the volume of this flower. I think I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue. Even though that foam spacer has adhesive on it, I want it to be very secure, and I'm just putting it mostly in the center of that flower. I'm going to pick it up to make sure that I've got it pretty well spaced evenly. And that is all for my Tim Holtz ideology inspired Memorydex card. If you enjoyed this project from day 8, make sure you come back tomorrow for day 9. Don't forget to leave me a comment and a thumbs up. You can find links to all our social media sites in the description below. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll be alerted every time we add new content. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye!